Hey guys, back at it with another roulette strategy to put against a survival test today. But first, I do got some good news. I did get a better mic. I upgraded it, and it seems to be working on some of the test runs that I did. So that scratching noise, that annoying sound, I know many of you guys did bring that up. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. So hopefully this will have no issues. This is going to be test one with this mic, and you know we like to test on this channel. With that being said, I do have some more exciting news. I did start that other channel. It's going to be called Viper Strategies. Sounds super cool, I know. I'm going to have the link down below. Currently, I have 0 subscribers, but that's going to be where I'm going to be posting the new content. The content where we're using this software to get real live casino spin data and put it against these tests to get a real true evaluation of how they're going to perform. And it's super exciting, super fun stuff coming ahead of us. I could even run it, like on the Roulette Masters channel. What he likes to do is he puts systems head to head. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I could put those two systems head to head with the same data set numbers, so it actually gives an even and a more fair comparison between the two strategies. There's a lot that we can do with the software. We have already implemented some of the popular ones. So like Kentucky White's moving corners with different configurations. There's a Street Slayer, roulette jackpots in there, and many more. There's a bunch of them. Some of my custom strategies are also in there with longer progressions. Like I said, Street Slayer and that long corner progression. But yeah, I'll add the link down below. So if you want to just get ahead of the game and just go over there and like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because next week I'm going to start pumping those videos out, and I'm sure you guys will like it. But with that being said, I do want to go over the survival test guidelines for today's video. For anybody new to the channel, this was a test created in a longer format to weed out the good from the bad. So what we do here is we find the good ones, and then as a community, we try to refine them and make them better. And they're actually we'll be able to make them a lot better now that we have an amazing tool like that, this software that I'm excited to show you guys. So every strategy on this channel will get a fair shake at 90 spins. That equates to about an hour and a half of live playing time in the casino. So there will not be a time limit. We're going to play out all 90 spins or until the system fails. Every system receives a grade on performance, and that will be posted at the end of the video. All results are unedited. All videos are posted. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's just to help you guys out to stay away from the bad ones. And if you're new to the channel and want to join us in the quest of finding the best, please consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell to stay up to date, because it won't hurt you none, but it might help you some. So with that being said, today we got a pretty interesting one. I think it's it's not a get rich overnight, but it's a slow grind. It's called the Velvet Grind. And let's just jump into today's video, and I'll explain as we go. We're going to use dollar units, and we are going 1 unit on. Actually, let's start on this side. Let's go 1 unit over here on that first double street, and then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streets. Now we have that third dozen uncovered. We're going to put 2 units. We have a total bet of $9. And let's start with spin number 1. This one's called the Velvet Grind. So it is a grinded out style of play. All right. So this has a couple different rule sets. That first one was a partial miss, right? So you only have the 0 and 0, the double 0 and 0 that are going to be a full whack. So on those partial misses, we're just going to ladder the system up. So at this point we could just double. And it is important to keep track of our highs and lows. And we reset in session profit. This is spin number 2, and we got back-to-back partial losses, but that's okay. This is a high coverage system, and we're not going to double. We are going to simply ladder up. And then remember, this third dozen, 2 units. Okay. So let's see what we get here. Start off with a few losses. It's okay. This is a slow grind, but we should be able to make up our money fairly quick. And we're back to base, or back to 0. So we're going to spin again and see if we could get another win, so we could reset in a new session profit. And there's another partial hit right, or a partial miss. But again, we ladder up. 1 unit on all these streets plus that double street. 1 unit over here would be $2. All right, we keep hitting those high numbers. That's okay, because we are not losing too much, but we must ladder up. And typically, I'm not a big fan of laddering, but this seems like it might work, so I thought I would give it a test run. So we're currently at our lowest at minus 21, and that's a $15 hit. We need to get one more of those, so let's keep the bet here and respin. And we keep hitting those high numbers. So we ladder up again. And the progression does change. So if we get a full loss, I will explain what happens on full losses. We don't ladder up on full losses. All right, got a 21 red. That's a hit. What did that put us? Minus 3. Let's try to get one more hit. We have not been in a session profit. And that's a 7 red. Finally, beautiful. Okay, what are we at? We're up 15 bucks. Now we go back to base and keep it safe, like I like to say. We go hit that double street, and actually let's switch sides. Let's go double street here, and then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going 1, 2 here. So you basically have full coverage. You're gonna have some partial misses, partial losses, and you only have 2 full whacks, and that's the zeros. And we got a $3 hit right there, so we stay here at base. Keep track of our new session high is now at 18. So we did start off with a super long losing streak, but let's see if we can make some profit now. All right, so first one we could double. We're just laddering up at this point. And that's a 12 red. Okay, now the low numbers are hitting, but let's ladder up 2 here, and then 1 on the rest. All right, that's a good one. That's a 30 red. That's a $9 hit. Where did that put us? We're back to our session high. Let's hold the bet here on wins and try to get 2 in a row so we could reset. And we got a 9 red. That is a partial miss, so we're gonna ladder up. And again, this is a slow, grind it out style. Keeping in mind our session high is at 18. All right, we got another partial, so we're gonna rebet and ladder. And 14 red comes out. I believe that's a hit. Sure is. Let's see where that put us. We're at 12, so we're going to repeat the bet. Spin again. Try to get one more hit so we could go back to base. And I believe we got it. 17 blacks, a win. All right, let's see where that put us. We're in a new session profit of $27. And so let's go back to base, keep it safe, and let's switch sides of the board again. 1, 2 here. Base bet, $9, and this is spin number 20. And start off with a partial loss, so we're going to repeat that bet, double up at this point, and spin. And there's a hit. Let's see where that put us. We're at 30. That's technically new session profit, so let's go ahead and just back up the bet. So back to base is $9. All right, so we got our first full whack, and good thing it happened on base level. So whenever you get a full miss like that, we're going to simply double. No matter where you are in the progression, if you get a full whack, you double and then you spin. So this would be a little aggressive, but like again, like I said, you only have 2 full whacks. So now that's a partial hit. So we just simply ladder up 1 unit each and then 2 on the dozen. Keeping in mind, our session high was at 30. We're currently at 15. And we got a 30 red. That's another partial. So let's go ahead and ladder up. And those high number keep coming out. So that's another partial. So let's go ahead and ladder. Right there. Come on. We need some wins. Come on, let's go. I mean, you have what? Those 18 numbers. 18 numbers are going to get you a profit. We got one of those right there. That's 15 bucks. Where are we at? We're at 9. We're going to need it. We need another hit right here. All right, 24 black is another hit. Let's see where we are at. 24, not session profit. So let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And 5 comes out. I believe that's, yep, that's a miss. So let's increase again. Velvet grind. We're definitely grinding today. A lot of teetering up and down. All right, that's an $18 hit. Where did that put us? 27. We're not quite there. Let's try to grab one more win. And we'll definitely be able to reset. This is spin number 30. And we got a 32 red. That is no bueno. So let's ladder again. And I believe that's a hit. 23 red gives us 21 bucks. We're back to our session high. Let's go ahead and, since we keep missing, let's just go back to base and keep it safe. Keep the bet placement here. All right, we got a hit right there. Keep the bet here. Let's try to accumulate some wins because we've been teetering up and down. We haven't got super low in our profit, which is nice. And as I say that, we got a loss. That's a full whack, so we're going to double at this point. Doubling only on full losses. And we got a 16 red. That's a $6 hit. We're at 30. 33 was the high, so I'm going to simply rebet and spin. And we got another hit. Finally making up some ground. Okay. $6. We're going back to base. So let's back it up to $9. Spin again. This is new session high and is definitely holding it up to its name. I mean, this is a slow grind. But it does have that safety net where you're not getting full losses. So I could see, you know, after you get on a good little cruise, a good little win streak, check out, you know. This would be a good bankroll builder. So we're in a new session profit of $39. Let's go ahead and keep track of that. Now we're going up back to base, $9 bet. 39 is the high. I think you could probably, with something this slow, I mean, of course, you could always adjust your unit size too. But with $1 units, the bets were getting a little high, which feels safe because you're covering most of the board and those are just partial hits. But if a 0 comes up, those uncovered full whacks, if you're that high in a progression, that might kill the system. But let's play it out. See what happens. That's a $6 hit, and that's a new session profit of $45. We're going back to base, back it up to that $9 bet. All right. Oh, you know, okay, yeah. So we got to go ladder up. And we got a 30 red. Is that a... Yep, it's another miss. And we go up 1 unit. $25 reds, another miss. And we ladder up. This laddering process is a little tedious, but it's not too bad. This is spin number 40. We're almost halfway there. Keeping in mind our session high was 45, so we need to accumulate some more wins to get back to session high. That's a $12 hit right there. We're at 39. Let's hold our bet, try to get one more. And we did not, so we are going to have to ladder once again. And you could see the side of the board. You look at 36 hit, then you got 3, 30, 25, 7, 32. Like, it just keeps flip-flopping. That's why I'm so intrigued and so excited to show you guys that software, because I feel like this simulator app kind of sees the way you're spinning and just wants to spit out everything that you're not betting on. All right, so that's a $15 hit. We're almost there. Let's try to get one more. Again, those partial misses doesn't hurt too bad. It's what hurts the most is hitting those full whacks. So we must double again. And let's see how this pans out. This is the highest we've been in the progression so far. Currently -3. So we're going to need, who knows? I don't know how many wins we're going to need to get back to session profit. That's a $30 hit. So we're going to need 2 hits. So we're going to hold our bet here. And try to land one more. And I think we got it with a 9 red. We sure did. So we are in a new session profit of $57. So definitely want to go back to base and keep it safe. And reset the bets. And then 2 on that dozen. We're at the halfway point. Session high is 57. And those high numbers keep coming out. So let's ladder up. There's a hit with the 9 red. Let's see where that put us. That's a $6 hit. We are in new session profit. Let's back it up to $9 bet. Back to base and keep it safe. I am like 99% sure this is going to last the full test. This is a very slow grind. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this. We lost that one, so we are going to double, adding 1 unit each. But let me know you guys' thoughts. I think it's good for a bankroll builder if you're shooting for like a low profit margin. I know some of you guys mentioned that you guys like to play that way, just shooting for $30, $50 profits versus chasing losses and potentially losing bankroll. And I think that's a smart way to play. If you think about it, if you gain 30 to 50 bucks a day, what's that at the end of the week, the end of the month, And we lost again, so we're gonna have to ladder up. All right, this is spin 51. And 2 black comes out, of course. So we simply ladder again. So far, we're not needing, I think the highest we needed was 3 wins to get back into a session profit. So the ability to come back seems pretty solid. Because right now, our session high is at 60. We're at 45. One more hit would get us back to session profit. Then we could go back to base and reset. And we got it with a 20 black. Beautiful. All right, you can see we're back to our session high. So let's go ahead. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go over here. Knowing they'll probably spit out the opposite numbers, but let's try it out, see what happens. Back to our session high at 60 bucks. Let's get some early wins and try to, because these are, we've mostly been getting misses. So we won there, that's nice. So we're getting paid out on those 6 streets. The other ones are kind of just little hedge bets where they're just small losses. So, I mean, we have half. I mean, that percentage should be closer to 50% hit, but you know how roulette is. Got another hit right there. We are in a new session profit, 66 bucks. We're going to rebet. We're going to back it up to base and spin. 66 is the new high. We got a 7 red. What is that? That's a miss. $17 red. That's a hit. And new session profit at 69. Going back to $9 bet. All right, now we're starting to get some wins. Good. Partial hit or partial miss. Double up. And another one. So we're going to have to ladder up one unit. $27 total bet. All right, I believe that's a hit. 16 red. What did that give us? That's a $9 return. We're back to our session high. And always keep it safe. So we're going to back it up to our base level bet. All right, we got a spin number 60. We're almost there. 2/3 there. Now all these low numbers are hitting. Okay. Rebet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm a dork. I could have just doubled that bet, but there's 11 black, and there's another partial miss. 1, 2. All right, session high is at 69. We've been stagnant there for a while. We need some wins, and I believe we got one with a 25 red. Beautiful $9 return. We're back to 69. I'm going to just simply hold the bet here. Try to make some profit gains. 29 black. Is that a hit? It is. Beautiful decision. We are going back to base. Keep it safe at $9. All right. New session profit is 78. That might be a nice adjustment. Just resetting a new session profit versus resetting at session profit. But of course, I'm just simply teaching you and showing you these demos. You could always play it however you want. And of course, if you have any solid input or any ways of making the system better, just drop a comment below. That's what we do. We test before we invest. And so far, this one's panning out pretty good. We didn't get too far in the negative. We are in a new session profit. So we're going to back it up to base level bet. New sessions at 81. Let's see if we could get $100 before the end of the session. All right, we know what to do on losses. I'm going to double at this point. All right, another full whack. Following protocol, we're going to rebet this and double up. $36 total bet. Currently down to 60. Our high was 81. There's a partial. So we're going to ladder up. All right. Let's see what we get here. 31 black is a miss. Not a full miss, but a miss. All right. This is spin number 70. And more bad numbers coming out. Repeat. Ladder up. Oh my God. Another loss. We're back into the minus. Can this come back? This is a very long losing streak. But that's why we test, guys. We test before we invest. All right, 26 black. I think that's a good one. It sure is. That's $24. We're going to need a nice long winning streak to get back because that was the longest streak we've endured so far, and that is a 6 black. Wow, another loss. We got 18 numbers that are going to pay us, and it's missing those 18 numbers. Maybe the progression's a little soft. I don't know. This seems geared to be a slow grinder and kind of protect your bankroll kind of deal. So we got 21 is the new session, or we're up to $21 in profit. So let's rebet, hold the bet here. This is spin number 75. We're approaching the end. Can this get us back to our session high, or will it fail? I don't think it's going to fail. It's going to take a lot of losses to fail. So we got a win right there. We're going to hold the bet since we're not in session profit. We are back up 48 bucks. So we're about halfway there. And 12 comes out. No good. Let's see what we get here. All right, there's $30 come back. So let's rebet, hold it here. We're back up to 51. We get a hit right here and we can reset, and we got it with a 15 black. All right, so we're at a $90 total bet. I believe that's the highest we've been in the progression. I want to spin it again, but with the bet that high, I don't want to chance it. So I think at this point, when your progression's got this out of hand after those long string of losses, I think it's just best to reset. Go back to base and keep it safe. Back to a $9 bet. We're back to our session high, so it did come back. Took a few more, but and you could see that was a good decision because there was another loss right there. So let's rebet. We could double at this point. This is spin number 80. We have 10 more spins to go. And there's another loss with a 5 red. I probably should have adjusted the bet too, but you guys get the drift. All right, $27 total bet. Spin 81. We got 9 more to go. Let's end on there's another loss. Look at that. All right, so we know what to do on losses. We double up only on full losses. And again, if you have any insight or any adjustments or ideas, let me know down in the comments below. We're always trying to make these systems better. I think this is a solid system. We got a hit right there, so we're going to hold a bet. We're back up 63. I think if we get another hit right here, we'll be in a new session profit, and we did not get it. That's a 34 red. That's another miss. So let's ladder up. All right, where are we at? Spin 84. And that's a 32 red. That's a miss. All right, spin 85. 5 more to go. And there's another miss. Come on, let's go out on a win streak. Starting now. And it's not happening. All right, so we are going to ladder again. And we are back to the highest we've been in the progression, which is a $90 total bet. Finally got a win with a 17 black. There's 30 bucks. Let's hold the bet here. And we only got a couple more spins to go, so we got to end on a win streak. And I think we got it with a 25 red. We sure did. That's another 30 bucks coming back. We bet and spin. And an 8 comes out. Missed 30 bucks. We're going to go ahead and ladder up Again, this will be the final spin. This is the highest we've been in the progression. $99 total bet. This is spin number 90. It definitely survived the test, and it survived a ton of. I think this is a it's okay system. You could see it is definitely a grinded out style of play. So we actually just hit the lowest we've been in the progression in today's strategy. So minus 30 is the lowest out of a bankroll. You could probably play this. There's so much teetering up and down. You might get away with, playing this with $100 or $200 bankroll. And you could see we did max. Our highest was 81 in profit. So that's pretty decent. So this, if you're gonna play it out just like this without making any modifications or adjustments, I mean, I could see this working to make you, 20 to $50 comfortably. It might take a while. You can see it teeters up and down, but the resiliency, because we did get a ton of losses, and you could switch those up too, however you want to play. I was switching both sides of the board, but of course you could always adjust this however you want. I think it's all right, for a slow grinded out style. I even think if that unit size was a little bit higher, maybe 2 units, maybe even 5 units, because you could see like we didn't dip into bankroll too deep. So it kind of makes me think maybe having a higher bankroll, or not a higher bankroll, but a higher unit size. How would that look? Let's just lay it out real quick. I'm gonna lay it out, see how much it's gonna be. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2 here. All right, that's a $45 total bet. That's not too bad. I don't know. I'd feel more comfortable using dollar units. But of course, like I always say, test before you invest. And if you guys have any input on this, let me know in the comments down below. And like always, guys, till next time, be cool, stay cool, peace.